When I was 14, I started to read those cheap Harlequin romance novels, the ones with the racy covers of a handsome man covered in muscles and a beautiful woman with long hair and large breasts spilling at the top of her corset. I locked myself in my room and I'd feel so guilty as I reread those 3 pages where it describes in dirty detail when the hero and heroine make passionate love and the hero took her by force, but she kind of liked it. I felt guilty as I read it. Que sucia, si mi mamá me viera. And then there was a time I had that boyfriend when I was 16, the one that was in the gang Crips, the one I met at those dirty clubs in La Juarez, and he was all badass, and he would wear his baby blue bandana around the lower part of his leg, and he liked me. His name was Manny, but they called him El Caballo because he was fast and running from the cops. And he liked me, and I felt like that girl in the Harlequin romance novel with a strong guy, and I was all helpless and sexy. I felt so guilty with him, and his homie invited my friend and I to chill at their house, and then the mom kicked us out. So we left outside and got into the mom's van, and Caballo and I made out in the very back seat while my friend got oral from her guy, and I could hear my friend's throaty moans that would distract me from Caballo's tongue down my throat. I felt so guilty when a few months later my friend and I went to a kickback with some guy my friend Raquelita met at the mall. And he told her to come chill at his place in Sunland and to take some friends for his homies, and that there would be beer. The 3 of us went, toda stupid, and they put something in my drink, and I felt a bit sleepy, and then I'm in bed with some guy that had a tattoo of his last name, Cortés, across his chest, like he was in prison or something, like that conquistador Hernán Cortés, like the devil. And he was so rough that the underwire of my push-up bra stuck up and scratched my breast, and then tears came out of my eyes when he took my virginity. And I told him to stop because it hurt, but he didn't. And I felt guilty because my mom told me to always guard my 5 centavos because tengo que llegar de blanco al altar because God sees everything and He will know that I am not pure anymore. I felt so guilty when I got into a fight with my boyfriend because he took me for granted and was a machista, and I was tired of his bullshit and lies. And I would have to do all the work when he had sex because he had just lay there all lazy and selfish, and he wouldn't even take me out because he had spent all his money drinking unas chelas with the guys from work. So I got mad and I went to a club with my friend, and I ran into my high school crush, the one I liked since freshman year, and I asked out to homecoming, but he said no. But this night I got lucky and drank, and my mouth smelled of Dos Equis, and I didn't even like beer. We danced all night in the club with my ass rubbing against his crotch, and we made out all sloppy on the dance floor, and he sucked on my neck like a vampire, and I had hickeys all over my neck that my boyfriend saw the next day. And I felt so guilty that we broke up, but he kneeled at my feet asking me not to leave him, and that he forgave me. And then he made sweet love to me while I laid silently and cried silently, covered in shame as he kissed my neck over the hickeys that the other guy left. What a cochina. And I looked at myself in the mirror, and I am drenched in vergüenza because I am never good enough, because everyone can see my guilt. I'm covered in scarlet letters, one on top of the other, the color of thick menstrual blood. Just don't tell my mom because she thinks I'm all good.
Marion, Marion, take comfort, you're not alone. Marion, Marion, be brave, you don't have to go home. I was attracted to Marion because she had a dangerous feel to her. I felt her down to the bone. She goes from Gucci to Gap to gutter punk as fast as she changed her thong. As a matter of fact, Jack, I loved her dearly, Jack, but not just because of what she did in the sack, Jack, but alas, that's inconsequential. To tell the story, that would make me temperamental. And to be a man and keep my cool, that's instrumental. Like a fool, she strung me along with her magical musical thong. In other words, darling, I love you. You demon woman, you scandalous woman, you down-ass woman, I felt you. And I know that I dealt you a beautiful hand, pocket aces and a queen kicker. And sometimes I want to rip her, tear into her flesh. I know that don't sound fresh, but that's how I feel when I kneel, and to God I pray that you're okay. Marion, Marion, take comfort, you're not alone. Marion, Marion, be brave, you don't have to go home. Marion, you're tearing my heart to pieces, pieces of heart all over the floor. I look at them and I long for your thong, that magical musical thong. I hear its music and my heart dances to its song. Love, it seems, to have claimed another victim. This is not to remind you of my affliction. I was once a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed young man, now I'm just tethered and wrong. Marion, Marion, take comfort, you're not alone. Marion, Marion, be brave, you don't have to go home. Marion, Marion, don't leave me alone. Thank you.
The sun dances on moonbeams of shattered dreams and tainted love affairs of lustful supporters in pursuit of lovers that aren't theirs. Enlightenment by boastful planets in the galaxies of hearts worn on sleeves and souls printed on blue jean rims. The prey is spotted with a glance and hunted by a grin, leading into a trivial chase with hopes of committing a bedsheet Bible sin, only to wake up the next day, shower, and do it all over again. And they think a clean set of blankets, a thin piece of rubber, and a daily shower will keep their guilt resistant, because only those without hearts can stay persistent in this game. The number one rule is to keep strangers close and your loved ones distant, because it's those that fall are the ones that choose to lose and get wrapped in the hell of heartbreak song blues, where they drive in their cars and sing while sobbing, feeling that every lyric in each aching ballad was written about them. While their friends laughed and dubbed them the fools that rushed in, slipped, fell face first, and will probably never win. The people that breed on zodiac promises from books that never knew, yet guaranteed to predict the whole story about you, and you, and you, and you. Open like cheap magazines for others to read in the lines of the checkout counter while buying their junk to take home and feed to this growing weed of our poison seeds. Mommies teaching their daughters how to resist their love needs. Daddies teaching their sons how to be emotion greedy. Growing up to be that girl who thinks all men are dicks and that guy who says that will never be me. Old and new hippies bubble out of the woodwork fighting for lost hopes of a love-worthy economy. I swallow my baby repellent pill as I look up to the sky as far up as I can see and pray for my unborn child, a part of this pollution she will never be. This disgusting excuse for humanity he will never see. The overcrowding of ignorant people that refer to losing the best thing that's ever happened to them as missing the boat. I've tried to stay afloat in this bloodline of life, controlling remotes and lies told to us about counting our votes. Forget it all. This dwelling we call life is a whore's playground, and anyone who thinks otherwise is bound to get hurt. And I would like to be respectfully world-renowned as the girl who picked herself up and became something better. Thank you, you know who you are, for teaching me how to be beautifully bitter.